YouTube, wherever you want the broadcast to go for you. Are you feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and unsure of your next move in life or business? Are you seeking a supportive community where you can receive daily inspiration, accountability, guidance, and coaching to help you thrive? Introducing energizeHER Mornings.
Are you listening? Damn.
The exclusive accountability community for driven women to experience empowerment and uplifting. energizeHER Mornings is the best accountability membership program hosted by founder Tameka Chapman, created specifically for women who are struggling with their first or next move in life and business. Welcome to the Leading Executive, the preferred leadership development, leadership training, and soft skills learning management platform for various organizations. At the Leading Executive, we believe in elevating your leaders' skills with experiential learning. Our platform offers a wide range of leadership training and soft skills courses that are designed to help your leaders unlock their full potential. Whether you're an individual looking to enhance your leadership skills or an organization looking to develop your team, the Leading Executive has got you covered. Our courses are designed to be engaging, interactive, and practical, ensuring that your leaders not only learn the skills, but also apply them in real-life situations. Our motto is unlock your leaders' full potential. We believe that every leader has the potential to be great, and our platform is designed to help them get there. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today and start unlocking your leader's full potential with the Leading Executive. The Leading Executive, elevate your leader skills with experiential learning. Mogul TV Global Network is the #1 streaming TV network for positive programming. Built on the pillars of culture, diversity, and legacy, Mogul TV Global Network is the award-winning platform serving men, women, and families with purpose, positivity, and passion, while celebrating life by educating, inspiring, entertaining, and empowering viewers around the globe to live their lives on purpose. Visit www.themogulchannel.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the Energizer Leadership Summit. I am your host, Tameka Chapman, and I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. And, before I get started in all of my church announcements, how I get to going, I want you all to share this broadcast out to everybody that you know, like, love, and trust. There's a woman in your life that needs to hear exactly what's going to be shared tonight. Tonight is a jam-packed night. It is jam packed. It's the last day of the Energizer Leadership Summit. We've been doing this for all week long. All week long, we have been here working to energize everything about you in life. Woman, yes, you woman, I'm talking to you. We have been here all week long and sharing messages, inspiring messages, motivational messages, transformational messages, all to help you embrace your life, embrace the challenges that you're facing in life, but also providing ways for you to overcome those challenges in life. And guess what? Tonight, listen, I'm excited. Tonight is all about the power of your choice. The first keynote speaker that we have here, she's going to be speaking on the power of choice, right? The power of choice, and in specific, the power of choice, self-care or success. And I really want all of us to understand that we have a choice. We have the choice to do one thing or the other. We have many choices that we're facing every single day in life. However, depending on the choice that we make, there is going to be consequences, right? There's going to be consequences to whatever the choice is. So I am encouraging each of you to make the right choice, So without further ado, our first speaker is Dr. Sheniqua Johnson. She's also known as Sheniqua Inspires. She's an international TEDx speaker, best-selling author, media and wellness expert, certified business coach, and purpose partner. She is the CEO of A Better You, where she specializes in helping busy moms take better care of themselves so they can live their best lives mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, so they can continue to lead and love their families. All right. So let me bring Dr. Sheniqua Johnson to the stage. Hi, Dr. Sheniqua. How are you?
Hey, girl. Hey, all is well. All is well. I am so excited to be here with you all tonight. Thank you so much, sis. I really just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. I celebrate you. I salute you. Hats off to you, caps off, wigs off, whatever to you, because you have really put together a miraculous conference. And I don't think people understand that when you're putting together, even though it's on a virtual platform, there are so many moving parts, and you need to be celebrated for your great efforts and the impact that is being made all across the internet, the World Wide Web. You are making the impact, and I salute you, and I am appreciative of you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I absolutely do. So thank you for being here. We look forward to hearing about the power of choice, self-care, or success.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Listen, we got a choice to make here. There we go. There's the PowerPoint, because I am a teacher by nature. So I wanted to make certain that I put this PowerPoint together so that you have a visual aid. So for those of you who like to listen, you're an audible learner, you're going to hear my voice. But some people are visual and they need to see things in black and white. So I've got it here for you. So I am so honored to be here. Thank you to everyone who's on the line. Hey, Carol, I see you. Hey, Latasha. Listen, we're going to have a little fun as we kickstart this conference off on day 5. It is day 5. And if this is your first day coming in on this summit, well, we are glad to have you, but you late. You late. You should have been here on day 1, because it has been power packed since. And I plan on keeping that same momentum. So today I am going to talk to you about the power of choice. Self-care or success. That's just something for you to think about. So let's look at the stats, because I never want you to take my word for anything. Let's look at the documented proof. Did you know that 71% of women of color express that they are living paycheck to paycheck? Now, I don't want to be all up in your business, but since we're going to be together for a little bit, I want to know, is that you? Do you feel like you are just living paycheck to paycheck? You going from payday to the next payday, and that's the way you are building your life. The stats also tell us that 88% of women of color express having experienced burnout. Oh, I can attest to that for sure. 20% of women of color, we're speaking of, are more likely to suffer psychological distress, a psychotic break, anxiety, depression. So we're 20% more likely to suffer from those types of issues. And guess what? This is the sad but honest fact. We are 50% less likely to seek mental health care. So something's going on. I think we're wearing the crown as that strong Black woman. And we think that we have to stand up and we have to be strong in every situation, in every entity of our lives. So many of times we are faced with having to choose between our self-care and our success. Now, you did hear my bio, and I love hearing my bio being read. I am so multifaceted. So yes, I am Dr. Sheniqua Johnson, aka Sheniqua Inspires. And I am an international TEDx speaker, best-selling author, a wellness strategist and solutionist. And I'm also an accountability coach. But did you know, in all of my glory, I've also suffered from anxiety, depression, and burnout. I experienced my first anxiety attack at the age of 13. At the age of 17, I got entangled with depression. And baby, I can't tell you how many numerous times I've suffered burnout. The recent being when I was putting my health at the back burner to show up and work my six-figure corporate job. I showed up. I didn't take my vacations. I scheduled my vacation time around my work schedule. And if I had a training class coming in, oh, nope, can't take vacation. And if that sounds familiar to you, where you've put your work life in front of your personal life, then you are in the right place, because I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to energize you so that you don't make those same detrimental mistakes like I did. So I put my health to the back burner. I put my well-being to the back burner. And my health ended up depleting. And I had to go out on medical leave because my body was like, oh, so you're not going to take the time off to take care of us. So then we're going to make the choice for you. My body was like, I'm going to make the choice for you, Sheniqua, because you won't choose us. So guess what? I ended up on medical leave, and I had to sit with myself as I was going through my recovery period. And I remember having kind of this back and forth battle with the Lord. And I'm like, I want to go back to work, but I don't want to go back to work. I want to do what God has called me to do, but I need to get back to work because I need the finances. I need the money. I need the PTO time. I need all of this. And finally, when my doctor decided, after about 2 months, my doctor decided that I was physically well to go back to work. I was flat-footed. I was unmovable. I was steadfast in my conviction that I was not ready. My mind was not ready to go back to work, although my body was showing off and looking good to the doctor, and my body was saying that I'm healed. But I knew as a registered nurse by profession, I knew that when you have the healing on the outside, it means nothing if it hasn't healed from the inside. So I knew that I needed some healing on the inside. So I made the choice. And the choice was to walk away from my six-figure job in order to take care of me. So now I'm not here to tell you to leave your job. I'm not telling you to pack it all up. But I do want you to ponder on some things so we can get a little engagement going on in the chat box. How often do you prioritize self-care in the midst of all of your busyness? In the midst of all of the professional responsibilities, whether you're a business owner or you're climbing the corporate ladder, how often do you prioritize your self-care? Well, Dr. Sheniqua, I get my mani and pedi done every 2 weeks. Oh, just 2 weeks, eh? Okay, cool. Well, I get my hair done once a month. Oh, just once a month? Now, you don't have to answer these questions. I just want you to start thinking. Do you feel in control over your schedule, or does it control you? I already pulled the covers off of myself. I've already exposed myself to you all that I would literally look at my work schedule to decide then when I'm going to go on vacation. So do you feel in control over your schedule? How fulfilled do you feel in both your personal and professional life? See, what often happens, people are soaring in one area, and as they're going up, they start going down in the other. So I want you to be open and honest. You don't have to share with me, but I want you at the very least to be honest with yourself. Do you feel fulfilled in every area of your life? So which do you choose? Self-care or success? Now, I need to see this. If you would choose, if given a choice, somebody comes to you with a magic wand and they say, I need you to choose, would you choose self-care or would you choose success? So I need to see your numbers. So if you would choose self-care, I need you to put a number 1 in the chat box. If you would choose success, I need you to put a 2 in there. Okay, we got some number 1s going in. Come on, be honest. If you had to choose, if somebody was forcing you to choose, which would you choose? Ivory says she's like self-care every time, hands down. Come on. All right. Everybody's screaming self-care all day. But what if your bills needed to be paid? Would you still choose self-care? All right. I see a lot of you. I see you wanting to choose self-care because at the very least, you understand your value. And that's a good thing. And I want you to hold on to that. But what if I told you you didn't have to choose? See, we live in a society where we always think it's either this or it's either that. It's either black or it's either white. It's either, black and yellow or white and blue. Look, we don't want to go through that craziness all over again. But people make us have to choose. But what if you shifted your mindset and said that it's not just this or that? What if both could exist? Just imagine a world where you could put self-care in and success, and they could live harmoniously. So today, before I let you leave here, I've got 3 tips for you. 3 takeaways for my presentation that is going to help you never have to choose. Now, most of the time when I talk about the power of choice, I'm telling you how important it is to choose you. But if you implement these 1, 2, 3 points, you'll never have to feel like you have to sacrifice one for the other. So the first point is that you need to start sharpening your self-awareness. So in your mind, you need to create a clear picture of who it is that you are and how it is that you fit into this world. One of the things that I do with my accountability clients that come to me, the first thing we talk about is how do you visualize yourself in this world? If you're an entrepreneur, but you're working your business like it's a job, Well, then what's the point? What's the point if you have to be sitting in front of a desk for 40 hours? Or can you stretch your mind and start to envision yourself doing something different? I don't know about you all, but in my vision, I'm living that life. If I want to travel, I can travel. Have phone, I can stay connected to my business. So you want to get to a place where you can start to see who you are and your unique fit in this world. Number 2, I want you to start becoming your own personal agent. You know about the agents, right? The sports agents, the sports people, they have these agents that speak up for them. They do the negotiations for them. I want you to start acting on your own behalf. Start making decisions that shape your life based off of your needs. Imagine that. And then number 3, I want you to start to redefine what success looks like. See, that's the problem for most people. We have this cookie cutter mold of this image as to what success looks like. When you think success, you start thinking about Bill Gates. You start thinking about all of the famous people that you know. But what if you started to redefine success in your own terms? Maybe success for you looks like you having the time off so that you can go to your children's sports events, that you can go on date night with your hubby without feeling like, you're sacrificing the fate of the business, that you can still grow and scale in business in your career life and not have to worry about it. I spent my work day. This is a true story. I spent my work day at Coney Island. I live here in New York City, and I had a sister friend come into town from Chicago, and we spent the day at Coney Island, eating the street corn, eating cotton candy, walking the boardwalk, having a good time, and I was still working. Because in my mind, success doesn't always mean that I'm climbing the corporate ladder. Success means that I get to put me first and my needs are a priority. So here are some ways. These are some more takeaways for you. So those 3 points are the main points for you. But here's the practical application of it. Because it sounds nice. I even wrote it in my book, The Power of Choice. Prioritizing well-being in a high-stress world. So it's written. It looks real cute. But how do I apply it? So here are some ways that you can sharpen your self-awareness. Mindful meditation. And I know meditation gets a bad rep depending on which room you're standing in, but listen, mindful meditation means that you are aware of this moment. So what are you doing at this moment? Yes, I know you're watching the Energizer Leadership Summit. I got that. You are tuned in, you're taking notes, but are you present in the moment? Or is this just something going on in the background and you're cooking dinner and you're checking emails and you're trying to help the kids with homework? Are you mindful of your present moment? So mindful meditation just brings you, it centers you to the present moment. Because here's the thing about mental health issues. When you go too far in advance into the future, when your mind starts racing ahead of you, that's anxiety. That means you've gone too far. You need to come back to the present moment. When you start getting entangled with depression, that means you went too far the other way. You too far in the back. You need to come on up. Come, sit right here and just be present in this moment. Journaling is another great way to help to sharpen your self-awareness. And you literally should journal after everything, after your work day, after you watched a movie, after you read scriptures in the Bible. You can literally journal about everything. And that's the way of refocusing the attention back to you. My oldest son tells me, "Oh, Ma, you always think you're the main character." Well, baby, that's main character behavior right there. I'm going to journal. I'm going to reroute everything as to what it means for me. Yes, I know you offered me an opportunity, but what does it truly mean for me? I know what it means for you. I know what advancing my position at the job, I know what it means to you all, but what does it mean to me? So journaling is a nice way to help sharpen your self-awareness. And my favorite one here is the body scan. So the body scan is before I get up out of the bed in the morning, got my eyes closed, and I'm scanning my body because I tell you I'm a registered nurse by profession, right? So I'm scanning my body. I'm starting at the top of my head. How does my head feel? Do I have any aches, any pains? My sinus is clear. Yeah, I can breathe. Okay, everything's good. The jaw's good. Jaw's all right. Good. How does my throat feel? I can swallow, no problem. Heart, yep, feeling all right, no problems. Stomach, yep, it's still big, but yep, there's no problem. There's no aches. There's no pain. To God be the glory. And you literally go down your whole body. And it brings you to your awareness of self. And see, I know you probably normally are aware of yourself. So if something hurts, you're aware of it. But when was the last time you checked and gave thanks for something feeling good? But what we tend to do, something will ache, we'll pop a Tylenol, we'll drink some water, we'll do some exercise, and we think it's going to be the sure all thing. But sometimes it can be an indicator. So make certain that you become sharper in your self-awareness by doing your head to toe body scan. Now, here's some more tips to help you become your own personal agent. Baby, it's time for you to exercise the power of choice, just like I did. I walked away from 6 figures. And I know I tell people all the time, I know, Sheniqua, you're always saying that. You're always saying that. Why are you trying to tell everybody that you had a 6-figure job? No, what it does is it says that I'm worth it. That's why I keep saying I walked away from my 6-figure salary. Yeah, because that's how much and then some I'm worth. So I'm not saying it to brag about how much I was earning in corporate, but I'm bragging about my personal wealth and at worth. And if you don't know your own personal wealth and worth, I keep saying wealth, but maybe there's something to that, right? But if you don't know your worth, who else is going to know it? So you've got to start exercising your power of choice. Start setting meaningful goals daily, not just in January at the vision board party. No, you should be setting goals quarterly, monthly, weekly. What are your goals? And then it helps you to advocate for yourself. If one of your goals this week is to go get a massage, then you need to make it your business to get there. No more, should I have to choose this or that? No, you get to do both. You get to have self-care and self-wellness, and you also get to be successful. And there's a way of bridging that gap. So when you start setting meaningful goals, and you literally should be putting your shower, your meal times, put it on your schedule. Block off the time, turn the phone off, do not disturb. It's meal time. And this is the way you become your own personal agent. But if you're sitting there eating dinner and you scrolling, checking emails, you're doing yourself a disservice, because now you're choosing when you can literally have it all. And I also want to challenge you to step outside of your comfort zone, because that's where the beauty happens. That's where the fireworks are. So you should challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone. And lastly, redefining success. I'm about to set y'all free right now. Release the pressure to be perfect. That was a chapter in my very first book that I wrote. I didn't know my own strength, how my faith moved my mountains. The pressure to be perfect. And what I discovered with that was I was the one, not society, but it was me who was putting the label and striving and grinding and burning myself out because I needed to be perfect. I needed to be the perfect mother, the perfect wife, the perfect daughter, the perfect nurse. It's time to redefine success. And when you do that, you get to release yourself from that pressure. And you want to make certain that you are clearly defining your goals and your aspirations. What do you desire to do? And guess what? If it changes, it changes. If when you were 12 years old, you wanted to be a great mom and a chef and an astronaut all at the same time, and now at 35, you're deciding you want to climb the corporate ladder, whatever, it can change. But either way, you need to clearly define it. Because you don't ever know what you're trying to achieve. All you now know is that you're in motion. You're in motion. You're like a hamster on the wheel, and you're literally going nowhere. But once you clearly defined it, now you get to decide, does this match up with the goal? And if it doesn't match up with the goal, I don't know why you said yes to it. I don't know why you took it on. So we've got to get clear. And this is a part of the nursing process. I want you to be honorary nurses right now, and I want you to evaluate and reevaluate. So what this means is whatever it is that you're working on, you're testing it out. Is this working? And guess what? A month later, if you're still not getting the results that you desire, you need to switch it up. You need to tweak it. You need to fine tune it. You need to add something. It's like in a pot when you're cooking. You got to taste it and you see, it needs something. And then you add a dash of salt and then you taste it again. And it's like, it needs something else. And then you take a little sugar and you hit it with the sugar. And it's like, oh, now it comes to life. So your life is like that. So even if you said, this is the plan, this is the pathway, release yourself from that pressure to be perfect. And if you have to change it, if you have to tweak it, if you have to fine tune it, you give yourself the grace to do so. That's it. That's all I had for you. It was a lot. But I do welcome you. I do invite you to meet with me, to connect with me. I am on social media, so all of these different platforms. You can find me at Sheniqua Inspires. And as a good guest, I did bring a gift because, you know, you got to be courteous. This is like the bottle of wine I'm bringing over for tonight's dinner. If you feel that you are in this struggle, in this battle between work and life, I need you to take this quiz. I need you to get a clear vision of where your struggle is at. So this way you can get the support and the help that you need. So I thank each and every one of you for your time, your attention. And you know what? My prayer for each and every one of you is that you stay energized, that you stay empowered, and you learn how to choose you. And by choosing you, you can choose self-care and success. Thank you.
Listen, I'm so excited over here. I keep forgetting to take myself off of mute, y'all. I'm just excited. But thank you, Dr. Sheniqua, for sharing that message on the power of choice, self-care, or success. That was, first of all, you gave us the tips. You gave us the strategy. You told us exactly what we should do. I love the part about the body scans.
Yes.
Because as much as I would wake up in the morning, and if I have a headache, I don't think of anything else. It's just like, I just got to get rid of this headache, and then I can think about everything. But I appreciate you for sharing. And also, thank you for the free gift for everybody. Make sure you all, as a matter of fact, how can they find and connect with you? Across social or website or however
Sheniqua Inspires. So as long as you're spelling Sheniqua right, you good. You know, so it's SHENIQUA Inspires across all platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So go onto my YouTube channel and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, because it is about helping to build this message, get this message out to the masses. And so I thank you for this opportunity to be able to share and get people fired up about the power of choice. You got it in you. You got it in you.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you. Make sure you all give Dr. Sheniqua a round of applause in the comments, and make sure you go and connect with her across all social platforms at Sheniqua Inspires. Thank you so much, Dr. Sheniqua. I appreciate
it. Thank you. Take care.
Bye. All right, listen, we're kicking this thing off. It's kicked off. If you're not energized after that, I don't know what you're doing. All right. Thank everybody. Make sure you go and connect with Dr. Sheniqua, especially when it comes to taking care of yourself, self-care, right? I say all the time that self-care is a verb. Let's change it and make it a verb. I self-care every day. And again, it's not about the nails, because y'all can see my nails are not done. Okay. But it's about taking care of you. And you have that choice to do that. You have the choice. And going along with the choice, our choice, we have a choice to become pretty healed. Okay. So listen, our next presenter is none other than Simene Walden. Okay. Simene Walden, what can I say about her? I can say a lot about her, but this would probably go on for far too long if I began to speak about Miss Simene Walden. What I do want to do is I want to bring her on up and let her take the stage because she gonna take it, flip it, turn it, do a couple cartwheels in that thing. But she's gonna help us learn how to become pretty healed. So thank you so much, Simene. I appreciate you.
Tiffany, Tameka, I don't know why I'm saying Tameka. I appreciate you, and you know that one thing I love about you is that you connect with people online, but hey, Latasha, how you doing? You connect with people online, but our connection is beyond online. It's beyond virtual, and I appreciate you for so many reasons. Because when I was really in a dark place, you would check on me, and so I'm pretty healed because I have people like you in my village, and so I'm thankful tonight. So thank you for the invite. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for continuing to inspire people all over. Thank you.
I can't help but to be y'all inspire me, okay? Y'all keep me going. I get my inspiration from watching my circle. I'm just like, you know what? I can't quit. I got to keep going. I got to become pretty healed, so I'm excited, okay? So we have Miss Simene Walden, the student teacher, also known as the student teacher. She's presenting to us on becoming pretty healed. It's on you, ma'am.
All righty. Thank you, beautiful ladies. Thank you to you, Latasha Jimerson. I am young. I'm definitely young, for real, young in age and young in heart. And it's amazing that you said that. And I know how, I'm excited when people that I connect with allow God to flow and make a schedule and fix a event or have people come up, because what the previous speaker, what Sheniqua was talking about, a lot of that lines up to exactly what I'm saying to you. And, with you, Latasha, saying, I look super young. What I found out is that people will allow their age to stop and stagnate them, or people will allow what they're thinking about their age or their mind, or what the thoughts they have in their mind, to stop them from doing something. So even though I am I always say this, like when I turned 40, I said I'm gonna be 40 and fine. I'm 42, almost about to be 43, right? And one thing about it is, sometimes if you start looking at what the world is doing, and not even the world, but people around you in your close circle, that you can either become intimidated by what they're doing, or you can be encouraged about what they're doing. You could be provoked by what somebody is doing, or you could be stifled by what somebody is doing. So don't let age ever stop you. Don't ever think that you're too young or too old to start or stop something, because you're right where you need to be. And so when I talk about, I know fine, 40 and 5, super fine, right? And so being an educator, I've been in education for the end of next month will be 19 years in public education. And so being a reading teacher by vocation, and I believe that everything works together for the good of us. We can take whatever skills, whatever knowledge that we have learned, and we can use those same skills to apply it to different things. And so being a reading teacher, poetry has always been one of the things that I like a whole lot. And so I always like to take the titles, and Pretty Heal is one of the signature talks that I do. I have a mentorship program from women, and I have a mentorship program for young girls, and it's called Becoming Pretty Heal. And one thing about becoming, be is a verb. I think Tameka talked about, self-care being a verb. You have to take action. You have to actually do something about it. And so remember, we are human beings. We are not human doers. A lot of times people get confused at what somebody does versus who they really are. See, it's a character issue. Becoming pretty healed is an inside job. It's not just looking beautiful. Like, we all want to look beautiful. We all want to take care of ourselves. And Miss Sheniqua just talked about some of the things you can do to do self-care, whether you get your hair done or all the other things, but also doing the mind, the meditations, and the body scans and the journaling, right? It's an inside job. And so B is, who are you? Who are you on the inside? Not who we show up to be online, not who we post to be, right? P-O-S-T or P-O-S-E. Who do we pose or post to be? But who are you really? So when I talk about becoming pretty healed, I'm talking about tangible things we can do as men and women to become that integral being that God has already created us to be. And so Poetry, I love poetry, so I'm gonna give you an acronym for pretty. I'm only gonna give you pretty, becoming pretty healed. But if you take that first part, I'm telling you, your life will change. And even as I said, like with Tameka is just somebody I just come online and talk to, right? And you have those women, you have those men that you just talk to them online. But when I was going through a really tough, dark moment, she would check on me, right? And it doesn't mean that we're not going to go through things, but it means we have tools and strategies to help us not stay there that long. One of my friends, I call her Storm Chaser. Whenever I have an issue, whenever I have something go on, she always say, Simene, get up, but get up quickly. See, some of us stay in our mess too long. Some of us stay down too long. And not to say that we don't grieve well, not to say we don't go at our own pace, but sometimes it's easy to wallow in sorrow instead of get yourself up and get yourself back together, because guess what? We all got work to do. And so pretty, the first P for pretty is pretty heal, is people. Who are the people in your life? Who are the people in your life that you can depend on, not just when there's a winning season? Because God told me something about success, and I know Sheniqua said, and that's why I like how God does it, because I'm gonna keep referring to what she said because it ties in right now. She talked about success. God told me one time, he said there's something called traumatic success. People are successful, but then when they go home, they're sad. Their success is not even something that they can celebrate, because it's too traumatic for them, because they don't even have the right people in their lives to actually celebrate what they're doing. So I'm talking about, who are the people in your life? Who are the people closest to you? And those people, what you see in their lives, is that something you want to be followed into your life? Who are the people in your life? I'm talking about becoming pretty healed. My mom used to say this, and I think her grandma probably told her this, her mom or grandma or great grandma, but it says, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. Show me who your friends are and I'll show you who you are. Show me the people that you're hanging out with and I can show you who you are. If you're a speaker, but you're not hanging around with speakers, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? If you're a believer and you don't got other believers that you can be around, what you doing? If you're talking about self-care and you're not around people who prioritize their self-care, what are you doing? If you're talking about becoming pretty healed, but the people around you don't want to become pretty healed, what are we doing? This good book that I read says, how can two walk unless they agree? Some of us got to get from around the wrong people. I'm talking about becoming pretty healed. And I heard something. I've been in several programs, and one of the coaches, he said this one time. He says, it's something about practicing your story, but I'm giving you hot food tonight. This is hot food. This is something I ain't never talked about before. This is a spin on that I ain't never gave before, because I know God was downloading something different to energize her, to energize us. Who are the people in your life? The second one is respect. Pretty healed. There's people. The second one is respect. Being a reading teacher, again, RE, that means again. The prefix RE means again. Speck, like speck in your eye to see, right? This good book I read, again, it says this, that why are you looking at the log and why are you looking at the speck in somebody else's eye? But we got a big log in ours, right? I'm talking about speck. You got to look again, but you got to look again from the lens of what God is calling you from. You got to look again and see yourself for the fearfully and wonderfully made person, woman or man that God has made you. You got to look again. You got to look again. See yourself again. Yeah, we may have messed up. Yeah, maybe some things that I didn't do, but you look at yourself again. God says, I know the plans that I have for you, and it's of good and not of evil. So look at yourself again. I'm talking about becoming pretty healed. Who are the people in your lives? Respect. How are you looking at yourself? When you fall, do you look at yourself through the failure? Do you look at yourself as, I'm successful and I'm still going to get up and keep moving? Because guess what? The flaws that you see today, the flaws in your life look very flawless to other people. The things that you may not like about yourself, people might be like, oh my gosh. When I first moved to Maryland like 8 years ago, I did not like the fact that I talk the way I talk, because from North Carolina, so it sounds very Southern to people who have a more Northern or a different accent. And it was one day, the elder in the church that I used to be a part of, he says, I think you should record yourself on YouTube just reading the Bible. And I said, why? I don't even like the way I talk. Your flaws look flawless to somebody else. I'm talking about becoming pretty healed. The third one is empathy. Empathy is where you may not be in somebody's situation, but you can relate to them. You don't have to be in somebody's situation to relate to them. And a lot of times, the people that we're connected to, sometimes we get pulled in their mess and we should not be. I remember one of my old pastors used to say that. He says, I'm concerned, but I'm not responsible. I'm concerned about you, but I'm not responsible. And sometimes we're taking on the responsibility of pulling people out, pulling women out, and that's not our responsibility. Do I want to be there for you? Do I want to pour into you? Do I want to help you up? But stop carrying the baggage and the luggage of other people. And going back to these people right here, who are the people that's controlling your thoughts? Who are the people that's controlling your mind? Do you know some people are still controlled by people who are dead? I'm talking about physically dead. I'm talking about been gone long time ago. I'm talking about emotionally dead. I'm talking about spiritually dead. Who are the people in your life that's controlling your thoughts and how you're feeling? We can be concerned, but we're not responsible. We got to be more concerned about what it is we're called to do, because we always say this, it's a thing that people say, when you get on the plane, they say, hey, if something happens, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. All that stuff sounds real cute. People say, hey, don't pour from an empty cup. You got to get from your overflow. It sounds real cute until, depending on the person that it's about, well, we may forget all about that stuff and we want to go and help somebody else while we just stringing along. Come on now. I'm talking about becoming pretty healed. The people, the respect, the empathy. The other one is your thoughts. I have a therapist, right? Her name is Dr. Linda Washington Jones. I love the lady. She says this to me. She says, Simene, she calls her Miss Walden. Miss Walden, your feelings don't dictate your thoughts, but your thoughts dictate your feelings. Okay? Your feelings, how we feel, especially as women, we can have all the feels. We can have all the emotions, but our emotions and feelings cannot dictate our thoughts. Our thoughts have to dictate our feelings and what we're doing. You got to think about what you're thinking about. I love what Sheniqua said. In the morning time, you wake up, you do your body scan, how my head feel, my heart feel, my mind feel, my throat, all those things, right? And when you get up in the morning, what's the first thing you're thinking about? Is it thinking about grabbing my phone so I can check my messages? Because, when I check some messages on social media and, I get some likes and comments, this dopamine goes to my head. So I feel good about myself. But what are you thinking about? Your feelings don't dictate your thoughts. Your thoughts dictate your feelings. You got to think about what you're thinking about. I'm talking about becoming pretty healed. We got the people in our lives, respect, empathy, thoughts. The other T is for togetherness and time. Togetherness and time. Miss Kara said, no, that's right. No. Togetherness and time. We talk about time management, but it's really our life management, because how much time we have is what we do with this life that we got. So togetherness and time. What are you doing with the time that you have? How do you structure your time? There's a strategy, and I'll give it to you real quick because I'm going to wrap this thing on up. Time management is a strategy I teach. It's called MSOX. MSOX. What are the things you must do every day? What are the things that you can outsource? You can delegate to somebody else. That MSOX, MSOX. What are some things you must do every day? What are some things that you should do every day? But if you don't do it, it doesn't have a big, it's not going to be a huge negative effect to you, right? What is the things you should outsource every day? And then X, what are some things you just got to cross out every day? So you can manage your time. And if you do these things before you go to bed at night, you will save yourself about 15 minutes in the morning, because you already know you prepare. And sometimes it's even more when you look at the stats. What are some things you must do every day? What are some things you should do every day? What are some things you can outsource? And then what are some things you can just X out and say, that's a great idea. I really want to do it, but I actually can't get to it today. And then the last one is yes. And togetherness, right? How can two walk unless they agree? Who are you in agreement with? What are you in agreement with? There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that's out here in the world. There's a lot of knowledge these days. What are you in agreement with? What is resonating with your spirit? Who are you walking together with? And then the last one is the yes. Yes. The dirty yes. Overcoming the dirty yes. Brene Brown is a renowned speaker and educator in the educational world. Some of you may know her. I heard about her, but she talked about the dirty yes, and I put my own spin onto it. Yes is affirmative or agreement, right, with something. But overcoming the dirty yes means stop telling everybody else yes while you keep saying no to yourself. Stop saying yes to everybody else and you keep saying no to yourself. I'm talking about overcoming the dirty yes. This is how we can practically become pretty healed. Who are the people in your lives? What are the things that they say to you and encourage you to do or not do? How do you see yourself again when things happen? You got to look again. Sometimes you got to really look again at yourself and say, you know what? I am who God has told me to be. One of the things that I start doing every morning is I get up in the mirror and I encourage you guys to do this. Write down 3 to 5 affirmations for yourself. Say that in the morning. Take it like a vitamin. Say it 3 times a day. Say it in the morning. Look straight at yourself, because I can see the comments, but all I'm seeing is me. Right? My face. So you say these affirmations to you, positive affirmation every day to yourself. In the morning when you wake up, you can do it in the afternoon or the evening, get your phone and cut your camera on. And then at night before you go to bed, you got to affirm yourself. You got to affirm yourself before we can, go run and look to other people. We got to affirm who God has called us to be. And I'll share this last thing with you ladies, and then I will invite Tameka back to the stage. I was listening to a message today and I said, yes, Lord. Being a woman of faith, being a woman, a believer of this good book called the Bible, she talked about being anointed. You're not just anointed for right now. You're not just anointed for what happened to you last year or 10 years ago or last week, but you're anointed for what's to come. Keep doing the work on yourself. Keep aligning yourself with the right people. Become pretty healed. And you're going to get everything that you need. The H, and this is just a couple bonuses for you, is ask for help when you need it. E is the encourage yourself. A is know that you're anointed. And L is love, 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 but love yourself most. I love you guys tonight. Be blessed in Jesus' name. Tameka, I thank you so much for the opportunity to come on and share with you ladies tonight. And so God bless you ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Simene. Listen, I want this to go on forever. Every time I hear you speak, I'm just gonna sit back, I'm observing, I'm just soaking it all in. You are feeding me. It's that whole thing of we're pouring so much life into others, and we have to make sure that we're pouring life back. We're allowing life to be poured back into us, and that's exactly what you do every time I hear your voice. And I just thank you for showing up. I appreciate you for being here. I thank you for pouring out your message and how God has given it to you to give to us tonight. I just appreciate you. I love you. And I'm just excited that you're here. So thank you. Make sure, as a matter of fact, hold on, before I say make sure, how can everyone find you and connect with you and stay connected with you and work more towards becoming pretty healed? Okay.
So guys, I love you, Tameka. Thank you so much. So you can go to Simene Walden. You see my name right here, SimeneWalden.com. You can you type in Simene on any of the social media platforms, it's Simene Walden. So you can find me there. On TikTok, it's Simene Speaks, but just go look for me and then connect with me.
Awesome. So I'm adding it here to the screen so that you all can see it. SimeneWalden.com and Simene Walden across all platforms. Simene Walden is Simene Walden. Y'all Google her, okay?
Right.
So I'm excited. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Simene, my sister. I appreciate you. I love you. And I look forward to connecting and doing more. Like we're just getting started with this thing. We're just getting started. I'm excited. So thank you. I appreciate you. Make sure you all go and connect with Simene. Go connect. She's a gem. Okay.
Right. Love you.
Bye. Love you too. Yeah. Awesome. Listen, if y'all didn't get fed with that presentation right there, I don't even want to call it a presentation. I'm gonna call it a pastor, a sermon. As a matter of fact, I need to pass a collection plate, okay? Because she dropped some good gems upon us that is going to allow us to really move forward in our lives. If you didn't get a chance to write down each of the acronyms of the word pretty, go back through the notes here. I think I can call them out pretty quickly. I think Latasha, you did a good job of it, but just go back through the slides, or either just catch the replay because she's right at the beginning, so you won't have to go too far to tune in. So what are we going to do right now? We're going to have our lively panel hosted by Miss Ivori Claire. Absolutely hosted by Miss Ivori Claire. We have Aneesha Silk. Where's Alicia? Here she is. Like I'm trying to see y'all. I'm trying to see. Oh, look at y'all. Y'all so pretty. All right, so let me get this set up here real quick. All right, so Ivori, She's leading our panel tonight on My Mental Wellness Matters, which is all about therapy for the soul. Okay. It's in your hands, Tavis. On you, ma'am.
Hey, listen. Miss Tameka, this so far, let me tell you, so far, I'm sitting in there, I'm trying to look at my notes, I'm trying to listen in because the self-care, I'm writing notes, everything has been just beautiful, and I am online. It is so important. It is so important. It's so important. So again, I am Ivori Claire. Thank y'all for joining. Y'all make sure y'all chatting in the comments, y'all sharing it and everything. Okay. My mental wellness matters. Okay. That's the topic of today. But before we get started, Miss Tameka, for those who just tuning in, let us know everybody about Miss Tameka Chapman.
Awesome. I'm Tameka Chapman. I'm the founder of energizeHER, which is all about helping to normalize the conversation of mental wellness for women of color and Gen Z girls of color as well. We have the Energizer Village for Girls, which is where we provide resources, tips, tools, exciting workshops and trainings that's going to help them be motivated and help them, build up their confidence, build up the courage to stand up and be exactly who they were designed to be. So I'm excited to be here. I thank you so much.
Thank you. And Miss Aneesha, please tell everybody who you are.
Well, hello, Miss Ivori. It is finally nice to put a face with a name. Nice to meet you. I am Alicia Siv, everyone. So I am the CEO of Cantrell Consulting, which is a multimedia publishing firm. I don't want to forget to mention, I'm super excited that I am a boy mom. Whoop, whoop. Yes. So he's 9 months. He makes a year in August. This year has gone by really, really fast, but I am super excited about my journey as a new mom. And yeah, that's me.
You know what? Congratulations. Welcome to motherhood. Welcome to motherhood.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to talk about mental health and mental wellness. And from the ladies earlier, we talked about, how it's important to take care of us, to take care of us to that point, and being self-aware. And knowing when you're overwhelmed and when you're depressed, because we wear so many masks. We will fake it till we make it. So we wear so many masks, and we would cover it up with a smile, and we would stay busy. Busy. So, do you think, as a community, that we don't take mental wellness seriously, Miss Aneesha?
So, I'm not going to say that I have always been interested in going to therapy or even that it was talked about much coming up. But I think that the more that people become aware of mental health, and that is not just you telling all your business, but like Simene said, becoming pretty healed. Once people become aware of that they are more apt to wanting to seek out mental help.
Okay, thank you. And for everybody, Tameka had to step off, but is this gonna be me and you, Miss Aneesha?
We're gonna get it going.
We're gonna keep it rolling. Okay, so and mental. I mean, self-care is just not about like they said earlier, like getting your nails done, but really taking care of yourself.
Right.
So, why do you think that we take so much on, like as women, we just take on so much, just like, the lady said before, we say yes to every single thing. And then we turn around and then we get upset when we got so much on our plate,
Right.
So why do you think we get upset when we take so much on?
I think from seeing it early on, mom taking a lot, grandmother taking a lot, and that just really and truly passing down to the next generation. Um, yeah, and then because we care so much, um, we care so much. There was a time where I would just listen and listen to all of my friends, and they would be going through, and it would become overwhelming for me, and I would just cry. And at the time, I didn't even know why I was crying, but I was overwhelmed with everything that they had going on. And like I said, I think it's just because we take on so much because we care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we have to learn to actually put forth self-care and know that we can care without being so overwhelmed by other people's situations or even our own situations.
Okay. So, and it's okay to say, like, you know what, I'm dealing with my own stuff right now. Because I don't think
Right.
sometimes people understand, like, you know what, Ivy got her own stuff going on, but they still want to pack more stuff on us. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're strong, you got it. So I'm gonna pack some more stuff on you.
Right.
So speaking about, they talked about, taking care of yourself and things that you can do at home. So I remember,
Mm-hmm.
just to be transparent, and we talked about just taking on so much and so much.
Right.
So I get migraines, right? And I remember I was going to the doctor, and I just
Mm-hmm.
all I wanted to do was just go and get a doctor. I already knew the routine. Go to the doctor, say I got a migraine, and they was going to give me a shot, right? Shout out to
Right.
I need my shot of Imitrex and the Toradol, making me go to sleep. So I,
Mm-hmm.
so I got to the doctor, and they ask you the regular questions. You want to hurt yourself? You want to hurt others, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So questions, and I'm like, no. Do you want to hurt yourself? No. You want to hurt others? No. And they asked me a question. They always ask me this all the time. And they said, are you depressed?
Mm.
And you know what, Miss Alicia? I answered her, bawling, I don't even know where it came from.
Yeah.
Bawling, crying. And I said, no. I was crying. And
Right.
crying, bawling, crying, and still said no. And
Wow.
still said no. So she immediately
Mm-hmm.
stopped and took me straight to mental health, straight to mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that we still know that something is going on with us, but we don't want to go get help?
That's a good question. Um, Other than wanting to be strong, because that's what we were taught, to be strong. You don't want nobody all up in your business. um Other than that, I think the main reason we really don't get help is because we I, we feel that we can fix ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We feel
Mm-hmm.
that we can fix ourselves. And it's hard fixing others. So you have to know that it's hard, fixing yourself too. And matter of fact, we can't fix anybody. Honestly, we can't fix them, but we can listen and things of that sort. But I think the reason why we don't just seek help is because we were taught to be strong, to take it. So
So how do you know? So tell us, how do you know when you're not feeling yourself? How do you know when you're not feeling yourself?
I'm not feeling myself when I have gone all day without a good laugh. I am I laugh at just about everything. Back in the day, my grandmother would say, "What y'all laughing at? What's so funny?" And it could be the silliest thing, but we laughed all the time. And I brought that over into adulthood. Um, Being pregnant last year, I was intentionally happy. My baby, he looks just like his dad, but he has my joy all over him. He just laughs all day long, and I love that. So when I've gone through a day without laughter, then yeah, something's wrong.
There's something's wrong. So how can
Yeah.
you see that? How do you so how do you see that in other people? If like some like if you don't know them, or even if you know them, how can you sense like, sis, I I I can see something is wrong. Like, do you want to talk? Like, how can we sense it in other people?
I think it's just the connection that you have with other people. I'm big on purpose. I ask God on a daily, what would you have me do today? What would you have me say to someone today? And I think it's just that connection of being able to, and even a stranger, just being in God's will and in His presence. He allows some things to open up to you, and you not even know a person or what they're going through, but he'll allow you to say something or, make a kind gesture. Um, and that helps that next person. So I think it's just the connection between you and God, and then God allowing you to flow over into the other person's life.
Okay, and that's true, and that's definitely true. Um, so when you're not feeling yourself, what do you do?
Oh, I sing. I sing when I'm mad or when I become agitated. I feel myself getting agitated. I'll start to sing. And I'm big on gospel. So now that I am older, I know those hymns and what they mean now. I can actually sing those, and it'll speak to me. So I sing. And everybody knows when I get to sing, do not bother me.
That's good. how how can your mental wellness affect relationships, like with others? How can it affect your relationship?
I think someone spoke on bringing baggage or something like that, but just so when you carry on a lot, when you have a lot that you're pulling behind you, it's baggage basically. You don't want to put that off on anyone, or just the same. You don't want anybody putting it off on you. So just maintaining the baggage that comes along with you and what you have going on, making sure that you are in a place that you can just be free.
Oh,
Did I
and
answer
what?
your question?
Yeah. And what are some coping strategies that help you maintain your stress, like to manage your stress? Because sometimes, like when you have all this baggage, I mean, when you say baggage, but when you take much on,
You're right.
you take so much on. Sometimes, like depending on me, and I'm a work in progress, but I can take and take and take, and I always say, I'm either hot or cold. I'm working on my warm. I'm working on my warm.
Hmm.
So you take and take and take, and then I be like, anybody can get it at some time, because you're
Come
working,
on now.
because you just take and take and take and take and take. So what are some coping strategies and some to manage like your stress so you don't explode on the wrong person, you don't get overwhelmed?
Right.
So what are some things that you can help ladies out there just to like help them manage their stress?
Right. So, I told my sister, I said, we have to learn how to get ghost. I am good at getting ghost. I'm good at falling off the grid. Um, just having that time to myself though. And that's what I mean, falling off the grid. When last year carrying, it was real, yeah, it was really important to me, and I wanted to make sure that I was healthy mentally and physically. So I fell off the grid. I got ghost. I ghosted Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that good stuff. And I didn't really answer my phone. And I
Right.
didn't feel like I needed to have an explanation when I did come back, because those who knew, and those who didn't, then you'll find out. But just being able to take time to yourself is a coping skill, and do that without anyone's permission. You don't need permission to take the time to yourself. You don't need permission to not answer your phone. Like, just do it. Just do it. Another coping skill that I find to be helpful is I journal. I journal, but I also read. I love reading, so I will read a good book. Mary Monroe is my favorite author. She's kind of local to me, but she's my favorite author. She writes good books. So reading and just taking time without permission. Those are my coping skills.
That's good. I love that. You know, I love that that disappearing that. Let me tell you,
Look,
you don't
Houdini.
like you don't need a permission. And sometimes, like, you know, people are so afraid of what others are going to feel, and then they hurt
Mm,
on the inside because they're worried about what others say, and then
right.
hurting, you know, but then they're upset that people don't respect their boundaries. And because
Mm-hmm.
they don't respect their own boundaries, they don't even have any boundaries. So that's good that
Right.
you, let me tell you, my phone go on do not disturb, and I'm fine with it. I check it in the morning. You know, I check it in, it's okay. And I don't, like you said, you don't owe anybody an explanation, you know.
Mm,
And that's what we have to understand. Is
right.
we don't need it. We don't. I always say my yes is expensive. It's
Mm,
and I always say my yes is expensive. So if I'm saying yes to you, that means I'm saying yes intentionally to you. I chose to say yes to you, and
right.
you know. So I love that. Um. So what advice would you give someone out there? Like, what advice do they don't know how, they don't have boundaries. They're lost. They need help. They need direction. What is something that you can, what advice could you give them?
So like I said, I'm big on purpose. I call myself the purpose influencer. Anybody who's around me, they got to be living in purpose, right? So I mean, starting off with purpose. And I took a trip to Atlanta some years ago, and I visited Dr. Martin Luther King's church. And he was speaking over the intercom, and one of the things that he said was, if you don't know your purpose, you ought to be seeking God. So I tell people, first and foremost, seek God. He put these physical people in our lives so that they could help us, but we still want to at all times seek him for direction. So seek God first, and then you can seek out, ask God. You do your research on a mental a therapist, and
Mm-hmm.
ask God which one you should go to, because there are qualifications that some have and others don't have. So do your homework, seek God and do your homework, and just whatever purpose God gives to you, walk in it, and walk in it boldly. Yeah,
And that's
that's
good.
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. I mean, and they, you know, and I know someone said earlier before, I can't remember which lady, but you know, you don't have to be perfect. You're gonna make mistakes. Okay.
Right.
It's okay to make
Mm-hmm.
mistakes. It's okay to learn from someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to not get it right. It's okay not to be
Right.
okay. You know, because I used to say all the time, and I don't know if it's like the military in me, but I used to say,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably why I had that emotional breakdown, because I used to give myself, Ivor, you got 24 hours to cry, to whatever you're gonna do. You got 24 hours, and then you
Mm-hmm.
got to get it together. And
Right.
and what if I wasn't ready in 24 hours? It didn't matter what it was. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to give the same grace you give everybody else. You got to give yourself. You
Amen.
got to give yourself, and we extend that to everybody else. We extend grace to everybody else but ourselves. So I say, give yourself grace, give yourself time, you know, and
Right.
treat yourself nicely, like you treat everybody else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And also schedule a rest day. Put it on your calendar. I got it on my rest day.
Yes.
I got it on my calendar. Every Thursday is my rest day. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
I love it.
thank you so much for joining. Please tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
So, thanks again for having me, Ivory. This has been fun, and getting my feet wet again. Things have been slow since having my baby, so but I'm back at it. People can connect with me, you guys, at Cantrell Consulting on Facebook, and Instagram. Cantrell Consulting. Um, yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you. Again, y'all connect with Miss Aneesha. Y'all tell her this going at a tell her congratulations also for that new baby of hers.
So excited.
Thank you. We're going to keep it going. Up next, we have Miss Aneesha Nelson, the visionary founder of Nurses Circle. Miss Aneesha dedicates her efforts for empowering female nurses to conquer burnout and achieve her work-life harmony, all while staying anchored in her faith. Having navigated numerous professional challenges, her personal journey, her deeply influenced her work and her faith, fueling her passion to support others facing similar trials. Through Nurses Circle, she cultivates a supportive community where female nurses receive the guidance, resources, and fellowship needed to thrive in every aspect of their lives, guided by faith. Miss Nelson, you ready? Hey, beautiful, how you doing?
Hi, Ivy. Absolutely. I am excited and fired up about tonight.
Yes, welcome to Energize Her.
Thank you so much, Ivy. And I just want to say, I know Tameka had to step off for a second, but I just wanted to say thank you, Tameka, for this opportunity to be here, to be able to speak to your community, to speak on this summit. And also, I want to say to Dr. Tavis, she's the one who pushed me off the ledge, that purpose pusher. And so I wanted to say a special thank you to her as well. So I'm excited about this, Ivy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, ladies, and for any gentlemen that might be on, Ivy just gave you a great introduction of who I am. So I'm just going to leave that there and I'm going to get right into it. I'm so excited about tonight. And I hope you are too. And so, as she said, I am Aneesha Nelson. I like to call myself the nurse nurturer. Coming behind Dr. Sheniqua, and I don't want to pronounce her name wrong, the teacher. Just listening to them talk about self-care got me, I was over here in my chair shaking. So I'm excited to talk about Nurture Her, our self-care journey tonight. So I like to engage, like they say, I like a talk back church. I know we're not in church, y'all, right? But I want to know who we have. And so I can see the chat here. So go ahead. You can just drop a one. If you're a mother, if you're a business owner, if you're a grandmother, if you're a caregiver, if you're a nurse like myself, if you're in a healthcare field, go ahead and just drop a one in the chat. Okay. All right. So everybody's here fits into that category. Any of those categories. Okay. All right. So we got some ones on Facebook. We got some ones on YouTube. Okay. Dr. Tavis put in about 7 ones. So she all of that. Okay. In a bag of chips. Okay. We got some ones. Okay. All right. So tonight it's all about prioritizing you. And you've heard it all. You know, we put others before ourselves, but I came to let you know it is so crucial to remember that you can't pour from an empty cup. And the speaker that came before me said the same thing, but we're going to dig in a little bit deeper and talk about some self-care. We're going to talk about the difference between self-care and self-maintenance. I'm going to give you some tips before you get out of here. And we're going to even do an exercise before you leave out of here. I know you said, wait a minute, I don't have my workout clothes on. That's okay. You don't need it. We're going to do a quick self-care exercise before we leave here tonight, just in case you didn't take care of you today. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into it. What's self-care? You've heard definitions. You kind of have your own definition of what you think self-care is. But I want you to know that it's more than just your occasional pampering sessions. And Dr. Sheniqua said that, you know, getting your manicures and your pedicures and your massages and going to get your hair done or getting your wig flipped, whatever it is you do, right? But it's about regular engaging activities that nourish our minds, our bodies, and our spirit.
it's more like that holistic approach that takes care of everything, right? It includes practices that enhance our overall well-being, right? So setting aside time for relaxation, engaging in hobbies that we absolutely love, and prioritizing our mental and our spiritual and physical health, right? And like I said, it's like that holistic approach to maintaining that balance and ensuring we are at our 100% best. All right, so you might say self-care versus self-maintenance. What is self-maintenance? Well, I'm so glad you asked. So it's important that we distinguish the two because I don't think people realize that there is a difference between the two. All right. So self-care and self-maintenance. I want you to think of this like maintaining a car. And although we're all ladies on here, I'm sure we have either dropped the car off at the car dealer, sent the car to the car dealer with our significant other, our spouse, or whomever. But I think you'll resonate with this. So think of maintaining your car, right? So self-maintenance is like getting your car's oil change. So that is kind of essential to make sure you keep that car running smooth and nothing breaks down, right? You see that little 20%, 50%. And if you see the 5%, you need to be on your way to the dealer, right? And so in our own lives, self-maintenance involves meeting our basic needs. So for us, it would be making sure we're eating, making sure we're getting enough sleep, 6 to 9 hours. Okay. Making sure we're exercising because these things are crucial to our basic functioning, our basic needs. So as a registered nurse for over a decade and being in healthcare for over 25 years, I've seen and I've heard and I've felt all of these things of why it's so important to self-maintain and self-care. All right. So I'm not just telling you something that I read in a book. I'm telling you something that I've lived and I'm telling you something that I see on a daily basis. All right. So self-care goes beyond that. All right. So that was self-maintenance. Self-care goes above and beyond that. So let's take this back to the example of the car. So self-care is like taking your car, I would say, on a scenic drive, right? Or getting a detail. Because remember, when you take that car to that car wash and it's sparkling and shining and you vacuum the inside out, you say, I wish a kid would drop a chip on this chair, right? I wish they would. I wish a bird would poop on this car after I done got this thing detailed and got it real nice and I'm ready to go on this ride, right? It's all about enjoying the ride and keeping it looking and feeling its best. So we got the oil change, the inside looks good, but we want to make sure the outside looks good as well. All right. And so for us, self-care activities might involve going on those quiet walks, right? Going to a park, sitting down and enjoying a good book on the deck, in your living room, in your pajamas, whatever it is, or even doing a creative hobby that you like. I love roller skating, y'all. So sidebar, I'm going to order my skates because I'm going to the skating ring within the next couple of weeks. So I just had to say that. So whatever it is you like to do, a hobby, an activity, they got a 40 plus jump rope, double Dutch group in my area. I think I'm 40 plus, but anywho, so what's something that you like to do, right? What is something that's going to get you feeling good about who you are, right? These activities really should leave us feeling replenished, making us feel balanced and enhancing our overall quality of life, not just our basic functioning. Okay. So that's the difference between self-care and self-maintenance. Now, all right, lean in a little bit. Let's talk about boundaries. Yeah, the B word, boundaries. And so setting boundaries is so crucial for us preserving our energy and our well-being. And yes, boundaries does have something to do with nurturing us in that self-care piece. Because you know what? Boundaries really help us to identify and to define what we deem as acceptable and what is not in our interactions and in our relationships, whether it be our children, our spouses, our coworkers, our bosses, or even us as business owners, right? We have to learn how to protect our time, our space, and our emotional health. All right. So for example, as a registered nurse, it might mean saying no to working an extra shift, right? You might say, listen, I didn't work 3 shifts in a row. Today is my day off. And it's just no, right? It might be saying no to an extra commitment that somebody else has assigned to you, because how many of us know people assign things to us, right? They assign things to us. Say, oh yeah, give it to Aneesha. She'll take care of it. No, right? So we have to make sure that we're not stretched too thin, or like I said, or even letting our families know when you need that uninterrupted time for yourself. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, that all those things we talked about earlier, a business owner, I have a silent investor, all those things. And so at any given time, my husband might need me here. Those 4 kids, yes, 4. My oldest is 8. I have a set of twins that are 6, and my youngest is 2. I know a little bit about this right here. You understand? So boundaries are so important. You might need to go upstairs and go in that bathroom and shut that good door and take you what you need. Boundaries. Sometimes I get the little one underneath of the door with his little fingers. Mommy, can I come in? That's my boundaries. This is my quiet time for me, right? So boundaries are a way to honor our needs and our values, right? We have to honor our needs and values, okay? Creating those healthier dynamics in our personal and our professional life, okay? So I want to give you a couple of practical self-care strategies that you can incorporate into your daily routine. And I want you to look at this and take what's for you. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So the first thing is meditation, and you've heard that. And I'm just saying, let me say this. I'm not saying I want you to sit, or that you need to sit for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. A simple 3 minutes, a simple 5 minutes, taking some time to quiet down in a space that brings you joy, right? That brings you peace each and every day. Helps me to reduce stress and increases our clarity. Just a few minutes each day. All right. Journaling. And I'm sure a lot of you on here like to journal. Journaling is so good. It's such a good self-care strategy. Writing your thoughts down and your feelings. And I think someone mentioned tonight, every day you should be journaling, right? How do you feel? Why did you feel that way? What was your thought process behind that? Why did you even respond that way, right? That's a great way to process our emotions and reflect on our day. How things went, right? At the end of the day, we lay down. We should get our journal off the side of our table and write down, how was today? You know, what was my day like? Get it all out before you rest. Nature is the next one. Spending time outdoors. I love a good walk through a neighborhood, looking at the trees, listening to the birds, at the park, watching the kids run around, other people's kids, right? Sitting and watching the kids just run. It just gives you that sense of just peace, looking at the amazing creations of God, and just a simple thank you. Nature is such a beautiful thing. And I see Lurleen just put over in there, I love walking on the beach. I got to say, I believe God lives at the beach. And I'm going to leave that right there. He does. It's such a beautiful thing. The next thing is gratitude practice. Regularly acknowledging what you're thankful for can shift your entire mindset and improve how you feel. But we have to do it every day, right? So when you think of self-care, sometimes you think of, oh, like I said earlier, the manis, the petties, and those things are okay, right? But we have to think of things that we can do each and every day. And these are some things we can do every single day. And I mentioned hobbies, making sure we're engaging in activities that we love, painting with a twist, going dancing, right? You might want to sign up for it. Now listen, if you want to sign up for a tap or a ballet class, I don't care how old or how young you are. Do you, baby? Do you, boo? Okay. Knitting, crocheting, whatever that looks like, whatever brings you joy. But remember, self-care is personal. Okay. I want you to find what resonates with you and make it a part of your daily life. Because what works for me may not work for somebody else, right? Remember I told you I had a husband and 4 kids, 8 and under. So what might work for me may not work for the mother who is an empty nester, right? So I can't compare my self-care to her self-care because it looks totally different. but I want you to think about the things that I've shared and find something that resonates and that fits your life. All right. Overcoming guilt and prioritizing self-care. As women, we often feel guilty for taking time for ourselves, thinking, oh, this is selfish. I don't have time. But let me tell you, self-care is necessary and it is absolutely not selfish. When we prioritize our well-being, right, we're more present, we're more patient, and we are more effective in our roles. Trust me, when I take my personal time, my self-care time, I am much more better parent. When the kids do something that's often goofy, right, my response is going to determine if I had time to myself. Even on our jobs, you know, our coworker says something to us and we snap at them. It's like, ooh, girl, you need a break, right? It's all about recognizing that taking care of ourselves allows us to be the best version of ourselves for all those people we care about. Because even though I said caregivers as a, you know, at the beginning, we're all caregivers. We care for ourselves. We care for our spouses. We care for our kids. If you have a business, you care for that business. On your job, whatever your responsibilities are, yeah, you're a caregiver. A caregiver doesn't mean I take care of my mother who's aged or I take care of a child who has a disability. We are all caregivers. Okay. So I want you to give yourself permission to rest, to recharge, and invest in your well-being. Okay. It's one of the most loving things that you can do for yourself and others. Because remember, when you do it for yourself, you can show up 110% for everybody else. All right. Before I conclude, ladies, I'm going to guide us through just a simple breathing exercise to help us kind of center ourselves and leave here refreshed. Remember, I said I had an activity that I wanted us to do. This is that exercise, right? You don't need your workout clothes on wherever you are. Okay. Just in case you didn't get a chance to do your self-care yet, this is one up on you for today. All right. So if you're sitting in your chair, I want you to get real comfortable and sit in your chair. Okay. I want you to close your eyes. If you're listening in your car while you're driving, don't close your eyes. If you need to pull over, do that. All right. So however you feel comfortable. And I'm going to guide you through the breathing. But what we're going to do is we're going to take nice, deep, full breaths through our nose, and we're going to fill our lungs up completely. Now, after doing the first one, you might say, oh my gosh, this is hard to do, because that means you're not used to breathing. And I know you're saying, sis, I'm breathing now, but I mean really breathing. All right. And then I want you to hold your breath, count to 4. I'll do the counting. You just do the breathing, right? And then we're going to slowly exhale through our mouth. Nice deep breathing in our nose to fill our lungs. We're going to hold for 4 seconds and we're going to slowly release it out of our mouths. All right. And I want you to think about any tension, because I'm sure your shoulders are release it. Okay. Just breathe. And we're going to do 3 times of that. Right. And I want you to focus on your breathing. Focus on the breath that you're inhaling through your nose and the breath that's blowing out of your mouth and leaving your body. All right. You ready? All right. So go ahead. Kim says she's sitting. Okay. All right. So sit, feet flat on the ground. If your legs is crossed, uncross those legs. Plant them flat on the floor. Hands on your knees. Not the line dance song, but go ahead and put your hands on your knees. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to walk you through this process. Okay. Go ahead and close your eyes. Just focus on your natural breathing right now. You ready? Okay, let's go ahead. Nice deep breath. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. And exhale. Nice and slow. Nice deep breath. Inhale. Fill those lungs up as best as you can. Hold it. 2 and 1. Exhale. One more time. Nice deep breath in. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and exhale it out. How did you feel when you did that? Anytime I sit and I'm intentional about just taking time to breathe, I feel so much better. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Yes, Yes. When we're not used to breathing like that, we can feel it. So I encourage you, take some time to just breathe. Breathe. Good. I love it. I'm reading the comments over in the chat. Yes, yes, absolutely. So, in conclusion, I want to say nurturing ourselves on our self-care journey is not beneficial for us as individually, but for everyone around us. Like I said earlier, when we nurture us, we're able to be better nurturers for everybody else. And so when we commit to that self-care, like we talked about earlier, when we commit to setting boundaries, when we embrace activities that really nourish us, then we become more resilient and fulfilled. So I want you to make self-care a priority in your life from this moment forward. I want you to honor your needs, and I want you to embark on this journey with love and compassion for you. Thank you all for being here tonight. And remember, you are worth every moment of the care you give to yourself. And I just want to leave you with this one quote. Katie Reed, she has this awesome quote that I love. It's a self-care quote. And she says, self-care is giving the world the best of you instead of what's left of you. So I want to make sure you're doing that. Give the world the best of you instead of what's left for you. Thank you, ladies, so much. I hope and pray that this has been very beneficial to you and you were able to take even just one tip, even just one strategy from this conversation tonight to be able to say, you know what? I'm going to nurture me. Thank you so much for allowing me to share tonight.
And I've learned to stop talking before I take myself off of mute. I feel relief. I thank you for even just guiding us on that breathing exercise right there, because a lot of times we are so caught up in everything that we forget to breathe. We forget to just simply breathe.
Mhm.
And that breathing is going to help release all of the stuff. Well, at least some of the stuff, okay? But it give us like a release. For me, I feel relieved every time I do it because I'm intentional. And I love that you use the word be intentional about what it is that you're doing. Be intentional about your breathing. Be intentional about, releasing and letting things just go as you're doing it. So I thank you. I appreciate you. And yes, the comments are here, honey. They are loving all that you've shared about the journey of self-care. I said earlier that self-care is a verb. At least we should be using it as a verb, not just as a noun to say, oh, that's a self-care thing. Absolutely not. You should be self-caring every single day. And you've given us some amazing tips, tools, and some resources to do just that. So Miss Aneesha, thank you. I appreciate you, Aneesha Nelson, the nurse nurturer. Okay. How can the ladies, the viewing audience find you, connect with you, and stay connected?
Absolutely. Thank you so much again, Tameka, and also Dr. Tavis for this opportunity. You can find me everywhere, all social media platforms, Aneesha Nelson RN. So just as it says here on the screen, Aneesha Nelson RN. And then also on my website for all my nurses out there, thenursescircle.com. Thenursescircle.com.
Thenursescircle.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, Aneesha Nelson RN, go connect with her, find her across all social platforms, get connected, stay connected. And then we have her website, thenursescircle.com. Thenursescircle.com. So thank you. And Dr. Tavis, she said, listen, I'm so proud. So thank you so much, Aneesha. I appreciate you for being here. This has been an absolute honor to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Tameka.
All right. So let's see here. All right, ladies, listen. And gents, okay, we do have some gents that are tuned in. We have a gent that's joining us tonight. I don't want to, be disrespectful and all. But I'm so excited to just have had this amazing time with the Energizer Leadership Summit. And I couldn't let this thing go without just an amazing jam-packed last conversation of the night, conversation of the summit. So I know y'all getting ready for y'all holiday stuff and all of that. But listen, This is not the time to leave. This is not the time to sway away. Share this broadcast with others that you know, like, and love, because listen, we have Dr. Tavis coming to the stage, okay? We have Miss Ivori Claire coming to the stage, all right? And last but not certainly not least, we have our last favorite gent joining us tonight, Mr. GQ himself, Gerod Ware. Hello, good evening. How are y'all doing? I'm so excited.
Doing well. How's everyone?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Dr. Tavis.
Hey.
Good to see you all.
Likewise.
Perfect, Dr. Tavis. Perfect, Dr. Tavis. Okay.
Gotcha.
Listen, thank y'all for being here. Dr. Tavis is actually about to lead us in this conversation. I love to surround myself with amazing people, amazing women, amazing gents that inspire me, that keep pushing me to do more, to become more, to be greater and do greater things. And listen, I'm surrounded, y'all. I'm surrounded. Dr. Tavis, it's on
Listen,
you.
I am super excited about this conversation on tonight because when I think about, and our topic is the power of choice, the power of choice. And as women and as men, but as women, we have so many choices to make. We have health choices. We have entrepreneur choices. We have parenting choices. We have food choices. We have choices, relationship choices, education choices. What kind of shoes are we going to wear? Choices, right? How am I going to get my hair this week? What about my nails? Literally, we have so many choices. And we live in a society, y'all, where choices matter. We live in a society where people can be so unforgiving.
Right.
And sometimes I believe, Tameka, that we give too much weight to others as it pertains to our choices. And I want us to dive into this conversation and this dialogue on tonight from the perspective of freedom. And I believe, Tameka, that this conversation is going to set some women free, even if it means me. I believe that we're going to get liberated even the more on tonight. My first question is going to be, what does the power, listen to the word, the power of choice means to you in the context of women empowerment? The power of choice. Who wants to tackle that first?
Let's hear from Ivori.
Sounds good to me. I was going to go in that direction.
She looked like she's ready to talk.
It's choosing to be who I am, and having that choice, and not letting anyone take that power from me. And so often I didn't have a choice. Being military, being married, being a mother, that choice was taken from me. And so I just follow suit. So now I realize it's so important for women to have that power, and to choose and to have that power of choice.
Wow, that was so good. So my question now is for you, Gerod. I want to know this. Hey, we've been on the panel before, right, man, Gerod, Tameka, before?
You may have. I
think
know.
so. I really think
it seems so familiar. Probably have.
Years ago. I think so.
Yeah.
So my question for you, as a man, you watch women with different choices of the hair, the body, what's in today. Is it light? Is it dark? Is it big butt, small butt? Does she have to be a career woman? Does she need to stay at home? Give us as women advice when it comes to the empowerment of embracing the wholeness of our nose, of our hair, of who we are.
Yeah, kind of on the line of what Ivori was stating. It's just I want to focus on the power part of it. You know, that old saying that with power comes responsibility. And I think freedom to choose, power to choice, is one of God's most sacred gifts that he's given us. You know, in the church, we call it freedom of the will. But again, I think it comes with great responsibility. And I've had this talk with people before that when you talk about responsibility and accountability, they're like close relatives. And like responsibility being the parent, and accountability is like the child. You can't have true accountability if I'm not responsible, if I feel like I'm not responsible for something. So I think when you look at it in the context of ongoing responsibility, how my choices or how your choices, while you have the freedom to make them, they do affect other people. Everything that we do affect others, and even what we don't do can affect other people. So while again, God did give you that great sacred gift, I think it's to be used responsibly and with the mindset and the understanding to be responsible and accountable for your choices and realize that they can affect others.
You know what? When you were speaking, I thought about, and I have sons. I have two boys. I don't have daughters. But I immediately had a vision of a mother putting on her makeup and the daughter standing up looking at her. And Tameka, I know you have a baby girl, and you have to make choices every day. I want to know how conscientious are you when it comes to your daughter and the decisions and the things that you do as it pertains to your appearance?
Listen, I am my baby's role model, okay? I am the first role model she will ever have, and I hope that I am the greatest role model that she'll ever have, right? Because again, I'm very aware of the things that I do, how I do things, what I say, how I say it, the attitude, if I have an attitude that day. I'm very aware of it because I don't want to have it be so, well, my mama was like this, so I can be like this too, right? So I'm very aware of how I act, how I behave, how I speak and respond, because she is such a sponge, y'all.
Mhm.
Yes, she is. And she reminded me of something the other day with some of the stuff that she was doing. And I'm just like, where did she get that from? So again, I'm very aware of how I do things because she wants to do exactly what her mama do. She don't see me wear a lot of makeup because I'm really not a makeup kind of girl. I put some Ware paint on here for y'all, okay? But I'm really a down home type of girl, and we just kick it around the house. And so I want her to be comfortable in her own skin, not feeling like she has to see, all of these images on social media, well, not social media, but online or on TV, and think that she has to be that way or this way or do it this way or do it that way. I speak life into her every single day, and I'm just like, hey, you beautiful, baby girl. You are smart. You genius. You everything. You is everything. Okay.
Wow.
So again, I'm very aware of what I do and how I do because I know that it affects her, and she's going to want to do everything that I do. And so she has her assortment of lip gloss because I let my baby girl wear her lip gloss, and she will go put it on in her little mirror, and she'll walk around with her head held high. Good, good. I love that because that's saying she likes her lip gloss and she don't need anything else to feel beautiful. One of her favorite sayings is, "I'm beautiful, right?" And I'm just like, yes, you are.
Oh my God. I love that. And I will tell you that will never go away. My dad is deceased now, but I will call him and be like, get my face made up, whatever, and say it, Daddy. And he would say, you are so beautiful. So I want to come back to you, Tameka, because as you were speaking about your daughter, I remember a story that you told me years ago, because we've known each other for a while, about your aunt who instilled that in you. And what it sounds like is because you have the power of choice and was taught well, you're able to give it to your daughter. Let's talk about that, because what we're doing now and what we do on social media is setting the tone for the future, just like your aunt did for you and how you're doing for your daughter. Let's chat about that.
Absolutely. Listen, growing up, I had a circle of women around me. Somebody earlier spoke about a village. It takes a village to raise children. And I had that village. And I'm very appreciative of that village that raised me up. And it was a village of my aunts, my grandmothers, my mama, my stepmama. Okay. So I had a village of women around me that was pouring into me every single day. Now, I didn't grow up feeling that I was less than because of looks, because I've always been a cute little girl, okay? However, they poured so much more into me. They poured love into me. They poured faith into me. Like I had to go to church, okay? I had no power in that choice. So it was just like they were pouring, how I'm supposed to be as a little girl, how I'm supposed to be as a young lady, not pushing me to be something that I'm not and accepting me for all that I am. And so with that, it really allowed me to be just as confident as I am every single day, without the need to put on for anybody or anything. And now I get to pour that into my baby girl. I get to say, Mama, you beautiful. Mama, you is beautiful. Yes, you is everything. Yes, Miss Stella. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are sassy when she wants to be. Like, she is everything. And I thank God for allowing me the opportunity to be in this position at this point in my life to pour into her, because at one point in time I wasn't so mentally healthy and mentally ready to do that. But I'm able to do that. And I'm just excited. And I don't take the responsibility. Gerard, you spoke on responsibility. I don't take the responsibility short. I don't take it for granted, because again, it's my responsibility to raise her up so that when she goes older, she don't depart from how she's supposed to be. Okay.
I love that. I love that. I have a question for you. Everybody didn't have that, what Tameka had. And I want to ask you, how can women today take ownership of their choices that they make in their lives on today, wherever they are, however they were raised, to rise up to the occasion and take ownership of their choices?
I think one, they have to recognize in the beginning, like, where they at doesn't define them. You know, wherever they came from, however they was raised, or things like that. You know, you always have a choice to change. You always have a choice to go forward. And if you do have children, you know, how do you want to raise them? So that's what I think. Because like me growing up, how I raised my daughter is so different than how I was raised. My daughter is a total opposite, because what I learned at 40 to be so free and to be the self-care, she's doing it at a younger age. I mean, she got it. You know, I don't know if it's like these kids, is this generation, I don't know if it's us, you know, teaching them, but they got it. And I look at her and I am so proud of who she's becoming, because she knows herself now. And I think it's because we got it now. Now we understand it. And it's not because our parents taught us. It's because now we have unlearned some things when we were raised. Now we're starting to learn some things now at this age. And it's okay. You know, it's okay. What our parents went through, you know, back in the day, it got us to this point. But now it's okay to unlearn it and teach our daughters so they can get it, so generations can go forward and be healed and be free.
Oh, that was good. Listen, this conversation is so good. I am with some of my coaching colleagues tonight, and we're talking about the power of choice as it pertains to women. So you said something that I want to ask Gerod about. How do you think the attitudes towards women's choices have evolved over time, and what work do you think still needs to be done in that?
Oh man, that's a good question. Appreciate that. It's evolved a lot. You know, we just think about just a few decades ago when that power wasn't there. You know, not just in voting, but just everyday choices. And I see how just how trivial it can get. I see women ridiculed for wearing bonnets. You know, and I don't want that to become a discussion right now, but you know,
No, that's good.
you know, when Dr. King talked about the content of your character, it's again just seemed kind of trivial to belittle and berate women for wearing a bonnet. For who knows why they might be wearing that bonnet, but we've already judged and thought of them in a certain manner because of that. So it's come a long way. And Tameka and Ivori, you probably both have had experience in this. I don't know if you served time overseas, but I was in Afghanistan, and the women over there, the females over there can't go to school. You know, so some of the things that women have the right to do here, you know, it can seem like we take it for granted. But I talked to my daughter and my nieces and told them like we can't take that right for granted, because I've seen women or females that didn't have that right. So it's one of the most oppressive, you know, ways to control women when you take away the basic learning of reading and writing. You know, you can control so much if they can't learn and understand who they are. So that's it. And I think you asked, what's the second part of the question? Where are we going with it?
Yeah, what do you think we need some improvement?
You know, in this volatile political climate, you know, how they're taking away the DEI initiatives. And we know as people of color, minorities, the benefit that comes from those programs. And here we are, you know, when I spent my last 7 years in the Army as an equal opportunity leader in the Army. And so I dealt with that, and to see it literally being stripped away, you know, from the decision makers. I'll be honest and say that it's kind of disheartening, but that's, for me, it's important that we, in spite of, you know, the trials or whatever the issues, that the challenges that we're faced, that we have a level of faith and remember who we are in God, and that power to choose, and that intrinsic value that we all possess from God can't be taken away from man. Now, can it make it tough and you know, difficult on us? Absolutely. But at the same time, I am mindful of, as bad as it gets here, it's nothing like it is in other countries. And that's not to thumb my nose at any of our challenges here, because they're real and they're relevant. But, you know, I see that we've taken some step backwards, but shows like this, I think they're important. You know, seeing educated, powerful, confident women like yourself is important to be seen by others, because representation is very important. So again, while we're taking a step back, I do see that there is a lot of positive to be looked at and hold on to.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Tameka, I want to ask you a question. What do you think some of the key responsibilities that come with the power of choice? The pandemic shifted us totally, like totally. We don't go to church the same. We don't look the same. Sometimes we want to be introverted introverts. So because we have so many choices, what are some of the responsibilities that come with these choices that we have?
Wow. So let me tell you something. I don't know if you're picking on me, Dr. Tavis, or not, because listen, since the pandemic happened, I have not left my house, right? And that was a choice to not leave. And I will tell you that the responsibility of that means that now I have to make sure that everything in my house is still running right without feeling alone, without feeling like we're still a part of reality that's actually happening every single day. So making sure that my children are still being able to engage with the outside world in ways, making sure that my husband still has an opportunity to do the things that he's enjoying to do, making sure that I'm not losing myself in these four walls, in this grass out here, okay? In these hills out here. So again, the responsibility that I think that comes with choices, it hinges on whether it is the right choice that you've made, right? Because that responsibility can either be something as show up as a consequence, or it can really be a responsibility that you're now adding on to yourself. So I chose to homeschool my children. So that's just another level of a responsibility that I chose. So with that, it comes, you're really gonna teach these kids. You're really gonna do all of this, right? So I have to be responsible to handle the responsibilities that comes along with the choices that I've made. So I think that anytime that we are choosing to do one thing or the other, we have to make sure that it's the right thing that we're doing, first of all, being in alignment with what God has for our life. And if it's not, we have to be willing to, deal with the consequences, but not, shut down from the consequences, face it, and find ways to work on it and fix it. And not just buckle under all of it. So for me, the choice, the responsibilities that come with choice is to show up as you need to show up, but also take care of yourself. So that way, when it's time to show up, you can fully show up in whatever capacity is necessary. But also taking care of yourself and remembering that you are a person, you are a human, you are not God. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall, you're going to stumble, but you can still get back up and keep going. So that's what the responsibilities come from when we're, making our choices.
Oh, wow. That was so good. I want to ask you this, Ivori. We live in a society where we are so liberated and we have so many choices. Can you tell me a time when you made a not so good choice and you had to grapple with the repercussions behind not making the right choice?
So I'm not going to say I make wrong. I'm not going to say that I always make the right choices, but I'm a leap of faith type of person. I pray about it, and jump out there. I jump out there and I'm like, God got me. But sometimes I jump out there a little bit too quick, But I'm not gonna say like I make wrong choices, because a lot of the choices taught me to be strong. And I learned from a lot of the decisions that I chose. So I made some incorrect choices, but I have learned from a lot of my choices. Would I take them back? No, I would not. I would not have taken any of them back, because they've shaped me, they molded me, and some of them tested me, grew my faith. I met some friends out of them. I lost some friends out of them. But those things that happened, it needed to happen in order for me to get where I am today. So do I have any regrets of the decisions I made? I'm gonna say no.
Awesome sauce. Gerod, I want to ask you that question. I know you've typically women probably lean on you for advice. What have you seen? And we're not going to generalize us as women, but what have you seen that you can say, I know that sometimes women regret what because of the power of choice?
Oh, this is good. And I think it's a relevant question for today's time too. But not to be sexist or generalize all women, but there are some, in my experience, a lot of emotionally charged decisions. And not that emotionally charged decisions are always wrong, but what I try to do, especially my years in the Army, I've been taught to try to go off of principle. And that's not to act like I don't have, or we shouldn't act like we don't have emotions, because our emotions are there to protect us. If we didn't have fear, it'd be people doing all kinds of crazy stuff and becoming unalived. So emotions are great, but what I want to make sure that we talk about on our different platforms is understand the consequences of our choices, and understanding just slow down when it comes to making decisions when emotions are high. So that's what I would say.
That's a really, really solid answer. We've been talking about that a lot in one of my communities. And I want to ask you, Tameka, because you're so cool, calm, and collected. And I know you've had to talk some women off the wall before. Like, calm down, and calm down. What is one piece of wisdom you will give to women who, you have the power of choice, you messed up. So now what would you tell them?
Woman up. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all we can do. We have to woman up. I mean, a lot of times we say man up, and it's geared towards the man, right? But really and truly, as I said earlier, it's all about facing whatever that challenge is, whatever that consequence is, figuring out what the solution is. But first of all, let me back up for a moment. We have to pray about this thing, because how you got into it, you ain't pray to get into it. Okay. So we're gonna have to pray to get you out of this. That's the first part of woman up, right? Womaning up about this thing. Pray, ask God for direction, ask God for guidance, say, God, get me up out of this. Okay. I know I talked to God, he brought for me. And so it's just like, listen, bro, you're gonna have to come through, you're gonna make some things happen. I don't know what I just did to mess this thing up, but I need you to fix it. And I promise going forward, I'm going to do better. Right. So we have to, one, pray to God, ask God for guidance up out of it, but keep our word when we ask God for it. Right. But then we have to face it. Put your big girl panties on and say, okay, I got myself up in this. This is what I got to do to get out of it. Find somebody that's going to hold you accountable to doing that to get up out of it. Find some therapy if that's what you need. And just chase your transformation. I spoke about this, I think, on Wednesday. Chase your transformation, but trust his process for your life. So that's what I would say to anybody who going through it. Okay, they're going through it. They're trying to figure out, how I get up out of this. That's what I would say to do.
Wow, this is a loaded question. What wisdom will you give Ivori on that?
One more time. Repeat the question. I was listening to Tameka's answer one more time.
For women who need to own up to what their decisions that they made, because sometimes we can come up with so many emotions and so many I call it justifying the justifiable. And I'm just like, sis, just because you can justify it doesn't make it right. So what wisdom will you give women who never take, if you want to burn my hide, don't take ownership of your stuff? What wisdom will you give?
stop making excuses. You know, stop making excuses. You know, just do it, because we come up with so many excuses why we can't do this, why we doing this, why we didn't do this. Like, stop coming up with so many excuses why we can't do this, why we can't go back to school, why we can't do this. Stop making up so many excuses and just be accountable. You know, we lack accountability, you know, and we get mad when someone call us out on our own stuff. So, you know, just stop making excuses and just do it. We got to be hard on ourselves and hard on our friends, the people that we love sometimes. So just do it. Stop making excuses.
That is so good. These questions and this conversation for our audience, the power of choice, are so vital for the season and the times that we're in, because as women, we're so multifaceted and we wear so many hats and we have so many decisions that we have to make. We have to take control over our lives and what we believe in and own up to our stuff. So there's a level of liberation that we have, and we have to be conscientious about the decisions that we make, because society and the transformations that have taken place can take us to a place. I say that because my next question is this: what wisdom will you give your 16-year-old self as far as the power of choice?
I
Tameka?
love that.
Oh,
It's a good one.
so who's that for?
Tameka first.
Oh wow. The word that I would give myself. Oh, this is a good one. It's all about self-forgiveness. It's about self-forgiveness for me, and forgiving me, because I carried around so many things that had happened to me as if I was responsible for them happening to me. So it's self-forgiveness, but it's also within that, learning how to forgive others and being okay with if they don't accept it, if they don't accept the accountability for what they have done, just being okay with it, but understanding that I had to forgive them for me. Because again, I walked around a hot fuse for a minute, y'all. Listen, this calm, cool, collected woman right here was not always calm nor cool. So I had to learn how to let things go. I had to learn that if I say I forgive, then I have to fully forgive and I have to move on. I have to let it go, fully let it go. And it took me a long time to learn about what letting it go really took, what it takes to really let it go. But self-forgiveness would be the one thing that I would tell my 16-year-old self, that girl, it's gonna be some things that's gonna happen, but I'm gonna need you to not take it on because it's not your fault. So forgive yourself for whatever you feel that you are going through, whatever you feel that you've added to make that happen. Forgive yourself, forgive them, but be willing to move on.
Oh, that's awesome sauce. Ivori, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
So I have a picture of my younger self on my mirror that I look at. I had it for years, every single day. And it's just a reminder of where I was and where I am. And so I will tell my 16-year-old self that, you know, you are loved. No matter what it looked like, no matter what the situation was, no matter what you had to go through, where you've been, you were loved. So, and you were always loved. It was just hard to see it.
That's awesome. So, Gerod, what would you tell a 16? I don't know if you have daughters or not, but what would you do? Oh, I'm a daddy's girl, so I know this is going to be a good question. What would you tell your 16-year-old daughter?
Put it bluntly, that some freedoms were made to destroy you. You know, in this world where we want to be brave and bold and daring and, you know, just jump out there and, you know, be off from, you know, under the roof with our parents, where we don't have the you know, the oversight and the control. And what I've learned is that some of those freedoms will kill you and destroy you, and not just you, but the generations to come and those around you. So just there's power and there's decency and order and being conservative. And, you know, that whole live your best life is overrated. You know, unfortunately, I didn't learn a lot of that until I lived my best life. You know, thank God for praying grandparents and parents, you know, and, you know, that they help keep that hedge of protection around me. But, you know, I don't want to overstate that. or undermine that. These freedoms can kill you and the people around you. So just be careful and use them wisely.
That was so good.
Right.
That was so good, because that is the truth of it all, that these freedoms can kill you. We have social media. We have so many freedoms that can really be to the detriment of us. Everything is recorded now, Gerard. So I'm going to take that one with me. I want to ask this question. Choices, relationship choices, education choices, motherhood choices, career choices, food choices, entrepreneur choices, health choices. I want you all, each of you, to take one choice, one of those choices, and give us some wisdom. For example, if you choose career, why did you choose your career, and what wisdom would you give somebody else? Tameka, let's start with you.
Oh, let's start. I mean, there's been a lot of choices I've made in my life. I will go with relationship choice, specifically marriage choice, right? For a lot of people that don't know me, my husband and I, we've been married for 25 years. We just celebrated 25 in February. And we married in 3.5 months of meeting each other. And that was a choice that I had to say yes or no. Okay. You snatched your girl up real quick off the market. Okay. However, it was a choice that I had to say, I'm willing to be in a relationship, in a committed relationship, in a monogamous relationship with only this one guy for the rest of my life, right? That was a choice. And I took it very seriously, y'all. Took it very seriously. And so for me, I would say that when you are because I chose relationship as my choice. When you're in a relationship, you have to be willing to compromise. You have to be willing to listen and have open communication, because what you want for the other person may not be what they're wanting, and what they want for you may not be what you want, right? So you have to be willing to compromise, be willing to sacrifice a few things, sacrifice a few of those freedoms that we're talking about, and a few of those choices that we're talking about, sacrifice some of that for the good of the relationship if that's what you desire. But I will also say that you should pray before you go into that thing, because once you're in it, you're supposed to be in it for a lifetime, right? So make sure that that's what you really, really want before you just say yes to the dress.
Wow, Gerard, I want to hear from you, and then Ivori.
Yeah, mine would be entrepreneurship. I know we trying to figure out ways to be creative to bring in extra streams of income. And far as entrepreneurship, just think it all the way through. Tameka and I had this conversation, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about our choices don't just, again, affect us, but they affect our mates. And I just want to read one quick statistic to kind of back up what I'm saying. It said that 90% of startup businesses fail. And I'm not saying this to discourage anybody, but in the Army, when we go into battle, we got to know what we're up against, right? What are the odds, and what I need to put in place to increase the odds of being successful. But 90% of startups fail. 10% of those fail in the first year. So just put that in context. If I got 100, I'm looking at 100 businesses, 90 of them are doomed to fail based off statistics. So what do you do to being part of that 10%? And it's just understanding what your obstacles are, find out where your support system is. I've been in this thing about 3 years now, and I struggle and still have some challenges here and there. But Tameka, she's one of the greatest resources I've come across. So I just tell people, when it comes to entrepreneurship, don't be afraid. Don't let what I told you discourage you, but arm yourself with that wisdom and that understanding so that you put yourself in a better position to be successful.
Awesome sauce. Ivori.
I'm gonna flip a little bit. So I'm gonna choose career, but I'm going to say the ending of my career was the choice that I chose, that really kind of on my purpose. And I chose that. It was a big choice that I made, retiring from the military, and I wanted to walk in my purpose. And I still had bills. I still had I'm a single parent. I had my family that I still needed to take care of, but I was in alignment with God, and I trusted Him, and I wanted to step out on faith. So that was a choice that was, I was nervous, I was scared, but I was ready, and it was the best decision that I made. But I didn't have a husband to consult with. I didn't have, anyone to say, hey, don't do it, don't do it. I had 100% support. Even my kids supported me because they understood my purpose. So that was a choice that I loved because that was my choice. Even coming to the military wasn't really a choice. I mean, it was a choice that I made. My career in the beginning was a choice that I made, but I was kind of like forced into that decision. But leaving was my decision. So it was a choice that I made that I'm happy about.
Awesome sauce. I'm going to tackle motherhood, and I want to talk to the moms out there, single moms, married moms, moms. Parenting, being a mom doesn't come with a rule book. If you don't know Jesus, have a baby and you'll get to know him. Now, I want to talk about mommy guilt and the fact that whether you are wealthy, married, single, white man, black man, Jew, or Gentile, at some point, there's going to be a little ounce of mommy guilt that may show up, whether it's, oh my gosh, he's sleeping. Why did I yell at him today? Whatever that thing may be. I want you to go, you have the power of choice. You can choose to apologize to your children when you need to. You can choose to read parenting books to see your children's personality types. You can choose to decide to understand your children's love language, but do something and do something different. You have the power of choice to make motherhood the best career that you have, or you don't. Make a choice. Understand you have the power of choice and choose to be an awesome mom. Listen, this has been some amazing dialogue on tonight. What I would love now is for each of you, we can start with Ivori, then Gerod, and then Tameka. When we talk about the power of choice, can you kind of give a summation, like your last home run hitter for someone who's listening and they need to understand the power of choice? Ivori?
The choice is yours. I mean, that's like a song. The choice is yours. The choice. The choice is yours, that's what it is. It's the power of choice. Don't let anyone take that power from you. It is your power. If you don't want to do it, say no. And it's okay to say no. It is okay, and feel good about it. Feel good about it. Don't let nobody bully you into what you don't want to do. It's your choice. And I'm gonna leave it like that. It's your choice, and be happy about it.
Awesome sauce. Thank you, Ivori. Gerod.
Yeah, just two real quick points. One, the choice to work together. We weren't meant to do this thing alone. The old saying is there's strength in numbers, and I've experienced that and know that to be wholeheartedly true. So, we know it can get lonely, or we can get used to working on our own because it seems like we're not getting the support that we should be getting. But what I've learned too is that the support we need is right in front of our face, and we overlook it, trying to bring other people into the fold instead of the people that God have handpicked to walk this life with us. And the second one is the choice to serve. I believe the good book when it says the greatest will be your servant, and I don't believe that there is any greatness minus or absent the heart to serve the people. So I'll just leave you with those 2 points there.
Awesome sauce. That was good. Tameka.
Listen, I'm sitting here and I'm taking this all in. Dr. Tavis, what was the question again? Because I'm listen, I'm all in too. So
I know it was juicy, right? I had to take my glasses off. What is your final piece of wisdom to leave with our audience on tonight?
So my final piece of wisdom, I know that we've been talking about choices, and a lot of tonight was about self-care and self-care being a verb. I would say have the power to say no. Choose your power to say no. Choose your power to be selfish when it comes to your self-care. Choose the power to be okay with not being there for everybody all the time, 24/7, because you are releasing all the energy that you have within yourself for you. So again, I would say choose the power of saying no and being okay with it. It's okay.
Wow, that was so awesome. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard from some of my amazing coaching colleagues and entrepreneur colleagues on today. I want to leave this with you. As a mom, as a full-time entrepreneur since 2012, as a woman of God, a pastor, and studying the brain, positive neuropsychology, I will tell you this: the power of choice is yours. Did you know that you have a reticular activating system where you can shift your mindset, change, make better choices, and then you'll start to attract what you desire? But the choice is yours. Tameka, I yield to you.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate all of you for being here. I appreciate your yes. I appreciate you for just saying, you know what, Tameka, I got you. Okay. I appreciate every last one of you for showing up tonight. I appreciate you for sharing. I appreciate you for engaging with us in comment and letting us know that what we are talking about is exactly what you needed to hear. I pray that everything that we've discussed tonight is exactly what you showed up for and more. Thank you so much. Make sure you connect with all of us. Get connected with us if you're not. Dr. Tavis Taylor, thank you so much for leading tonight's panel. Listen, y'all don't even know about the behind the scenes, but I thank you, Dr. Tavis, for leading tonight's panel. It was absolutely amazing. I couldn't have done anything and made that better in any kind of way. I just appreciate you for showing up the way you always do. Authentic, transparent, and letting us have it, okay? Ivori Claire, thank you so much for this week. You have been my girl all week long, holding down some panel discussions, showing up, encouraging me, and just letting me know that what we are doing is absolutely what is needed. I appreciate you. Gerod, listen, bro, you my bro, okay? Gerod is family, y'all. So thank you for always being a listening ear on all of the things that I'm talking about when it comes to energizeHER, when it comes to all of the things that I want to do to empower more women and girls of color around the globe. So I appreciate you for your ear, your friendship, your laughter, all of it. And I appreciate you for showing up tonight and sharing a man's point of view with us on tonight's panel for energizeHER Leadership Summit. So thank you all. Thank you all. It's been amazing. All right. So we out of here, y'all. We are out of here. Thank you. This has been one amazing week for the energizeHER Leadership Summit. I hope that you all will go back and catch the replay if you didn't watch something. If you want to catch it again, watch the replay. They'll be live. They're not going anywhere. But I just appreciate you for showing up for energizeHER, showing up and allowing us to pour into you while you poured back into us during this week. So thank you to all of my speakers, all of my presenters. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna call y'all out by name real quick just because I can. Listen, don't go away, y'all. Listen, I'm gonna call all these women's and men's names out because I just appreciate every last one of them. So we started off Monday. Latasha Jimerson, thank you. Ivori Claire, again, thank you. Lantoinette Clark, Nicole Davis, Dr. Tavis Taylor, thank you. And our first gent on Monday was Antonio Mitchell. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts and how you are able to support women and your wife on our journey of transforming, on our journey of being energized. On Tuesday, Francis Futrell, thank you. Tina F. Foy, thank you. Candace Nicholas Lippman, the actress and poet who joined us all the way from LA. Thank you. I appreciate you for showing up. Miss Natisha Stitt came through and showed us on how to unveil our truth. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate each and every last one of you. On Wednesday, listen, it was jam-packed with good conversation. Carlika Bass Knight Menendez, Andres, Miss Cookie. Thank you so much for being here. Charmin Deloach, thank you. I appreciate you. And of course, our gent on Wednesday was Dr. Troy Carroll, who came through and talked to us about being intentional in what it is that we're doing. How are we intentional to unlearn some things so that way we can learn the right way of doing things? So I appreciate Dr. Troy Carroll for coming through and being one of our gents at the energizeHER Leadership Summit. Last night, Veronica Burnett, oh my gosh, Tameka Lloyd, LaJune Singleton, Just Kim Stringer, okay, Miss Tamara C. Gooch, Dr. Stephanie Jones, Sunita Mitchell. Listen, it was jam-packed. If you didn't learn anything tonight, go back and watch all 5 days again, because I promise you, you missed out on a good thing. And I appreciate every last one of you all for being here. And then tonight, we kicked the finale off with Dr. Sheniqua Johnson, who came through and talked to us about the power of choice, self-care or success. We had Simene Walden, who came through and talked to us about being pretty healed. We then had our panel on My Mental Wellness Matters with Ivori Claire and Alicia Siv. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for authentically and transparently sharing. We had Miss Aneesha Nelson, RN, who came through and shut it down with Nurture Her, the journey of self-care. Thank you, Aneesha. I appreciate you. I totally and honestly appreciate every one of you for showing up and being here. And of course, we close it out with Ivori, Claire, myself, Dr. Tavis, Taylor, and Gerod Ware. Listen, this has been one great night. This has been one great week. And I appreciate each and every last one of you for showing up. I appreciate you for engaging with us. And I want to see more of you. Listen, Energizer is just getting started. I feel like this is January 2024 because we're on a road. We're not going anywhere. But I appreciate each of you for showing up. Please connect with energizeHER at energizeHER across all socials. Connect with all of our amazing presenters. Their socials are shared all over my posts, my social profiles. So make sure you engage with all of them, connect with all of them. And if you register to attend this week's summit, each of you will be getting an email with all of the amazing freebies and downloads from all of our amazing presenters. So again, thank you. I appreciate you. Energizer appreciates you. And again, our job, our mission is to help you learn to love the life you live right now. And I hope that's exactly what you did this week. So thank you all. I appreciate you all. You all have an amazing, energized weekend. I heard that it's Memorial Day weekend. So if y'all having some cookouts, y'all send your girl a plate, okay? Y'all heard I'm still in the house, okay? So listen, y'all have a good evening. I love each and every last one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And again, thank you to all of our sponsors. We have Sis Means Business with Dr. Tavis Taylor, Mogul TV Global Network, Moshe with Gerod Ware, as well as the Leading Executive. Thank you to each and every last one of our sponsors who helped me to make this happen, to talk to the people, to reach the people. So y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good night. I'm out of here before I say some more.
Are you feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and unsure of your next move in life or business? Are you seeking a supportive community where you can receive daily inspiration, accountability, guidance, and coaching to help you thrive? Introducing energizeHER Mornings.
Are you listening? Damn.
The exclusive accountability community for driven women to experience empowerment and uplifting. energizeHER Mornings is the best accountability membership program hosted by founder Tameka Chapman, created specifically for women who are struggling with their first or next move in life and business.